Song for a Whale, Chapter 39. Benny sat with me in her cabin to help with the speaker. Once we gotten back, I realized I wouldn't be able to work without a screwdriver and something to strip the ends of the wire. Benny came back with a small set of screwdrivers borrowed from the ship's electrician and some wire cutters, even better than the scissors I'd asked for. I assembled the speaker pretty quickly, then attached some of the long wires. While I worked, Benny untangled a set of headphones. All I needed from them was a connector that would plug into my phone jack. After trimming down the headphone wires, I stripped off a little of the plastic coating, then twisted the ends together with the telephone wire. I plugged the speaker into my phone and brought up the sound file that held Blue 55's song. Benny smiled at the song that played, made of musical instruments, the calls of ocean animals, and a bit of our own humming voices, tuned to 55 hertz. The bathroom sink was small, but it had enough room to test the thermos. I filled the sink with water and pushed the thermos down into it. The lid was good. When I removed it, the inside of the thermos was dry. The only part I'd have to seal would be the drinking hole around the wires I'd pull it through. Benny held the thermoses as I placed the assembled speaker inside and threaded the long wires through the spout. After twisting on the lid, I squeezed the clear caulk into the space around the wires. It didn't feel like it was heavy enough to sink underwater, just bob under the surface a bit, but just in case, the caulk would keep water from getting in. The caulk wouldn't totally dry until the next day, so I had to make sure the spout stayed out of the water until then. Now, to test it in deep water, back to the pool. After changing back into our swimsuits and returning to the pool, Benny got in while I sat on the edge with my phone. While the song played, I checked the speaker to make sure that it was still working. The thermos in my hand hummed with Blue 55's song. I placed the speaker into the pool and asked Benny, "Can you hear it?" She nodded. Other people who were swimming must have heard it too. Heads turned in our direction as the music played. I pointed down, wondering if Benny would hear it underwater. She ducked below the surface, then came back up a few seconds later and twisted a hand from side to side like she was saying, "Sort of." Maybe it wouldn't matter since whales could hear better than we could, but I'd feel better knowing the song was traveling through water. Benny pointed to the phone, then raised a thumbs up a few times. As I pushed the volume's up button on the side of the phone, the song vibrated stronger and stronger in my hand. More people turned to look at us. Benny smiled and waved me into the pool. She took a deep breath and went underwater again, and I followed. The vibrations of the songs for Blue 55 trembled in the water. The waves of the song rose and faded, following the pattern I'd made that I'd hoped was close to his. I let the song continue to play as I swam beneath it, then floated on my back in the water. Here was a song that 55 might recognize. As long as we reached the bay on time, he would hear it in a few days. Before the ship pulled away from Icy Harbor that evening, I connected my phone to the Wi Fi, not to check Blue 55's tracker. I did wonder, but at the same time didn't want to know. Wherever he was swimming, then there wasn't anything that I could do about it. Grandma and I would get to Lighthouse Bay, and somehow I'd play the song for him. But I'd been thinking about adding more of myself to the song. I wished I could share my own language with him, but that was impossible. It would have to be enough that he could hear a little of my voice on the song I'd made through the speaker I'd built. I never liked talking out loud in front of people, But for some reason, I didn't mind doing it for Blue 55. I downloaded a voice modulator like the app on Benny's phone, then clicked record and spoke into the phone. Hi, it's Iris. I'm here.